Tonight, we proudly launch our 2026 Scholarship and Bursary Program. And now, please welcome 2025 recipient Anthony Ziadi, who will introduce our first award of the evening.
I'm a business student at St. Mary's University. I will be graduating next month with a Bachelor of Commerce, double majoring in Finance and Accounting. I was honored to receive the Lebanese Chamber of Commerce bursary in 2025. The Chamber's scholarships and bursaries help to ease the financial burdens many students face today, and I want to thank the Chamber for the bursary and St. Mary's for matching it. Your generosity and support truly make a difference in the lives of students. I am pleased to be here tonight to introduce the 2026 recipient of the Canadian Business of the Year Award.
Richie's Flooring is a true Canadian success story, built on craftsmanship, trust, and nearly 60 years of family-driven excellence. Founded in 1966, the company has grown from its roots in St. John into the largest flooring supplier in Atlantic Canada, now operating 4 locations across the region. Through a commitment to quality and innovation, Richie's has evolved beyond flooring into a full-service interior solutions provider, supporting builders, developers, and homeowners with seamless turnkey experiences. Strong industry partnerships and direct sourcing have allowed the company to deliver exceptional value while maintaining the highest standards in every project. Behind it all is a dedicated team whose expertise and pride in their work continue to shape spaces and communities across Atlantic Canada. Grounded in family values and strengthened by the lasting relationships, including deep connections within the Lebanese community, Richie's Flooring continues to grow while staying true to its foundation. Richie's Flooring is not just building spaces, it's setting the standard for excellence across the region.
Looking around the room tonight, I see so many familiar faces. Like all great Lebanese gatherings, there's a feeling that goes far beyond business. You feel like you're part of the family. You eat, you drink, you laugh, you tell stories, and somewhere along the way, you build connections that last a lifetime. That spirit of warmth and community is something I admire and something that has deeply influenced how we think about business. At Richie's, we've always believed that success doesn't come from standing still. One of our defining strengths has been a willingness to take smart, timely risks over the years that has included expanding into the Nova Scotia market with a brick and mortar store. This was after years of selling remotely to a group of key clients who trusted in supporting us early on. Many of those clients have become extended family to me, and their belief in Richie's gave me the confidence to keep growing in the region. You all know who you are, and I'm truly grateful for your support and friendship since day one. More recently, we've continued that momentum in Nova Scotia by expanding beyond flooring into kitchen cabinetry, windows, interior, exterior, doors, window treatments, baseboards, and casings, which we always offered at our New Brunswick stores. Not for the sake of growth alone, but to better serve our customers in Nova Scotia, offer the best pricing, and stay ahead of where the market is. But that mindset, the willingness to take a risk when the moment calls for it, is not unique to us. It's something that is deeply rooted within the Lebanese community. It's part of a broader story, one of people who came to Canada with unrivaled ambition, who saw opportunity where others might have seen fear and uncertainty, and who had the courage to act and bring their dreams to life. And when you step back and look at the impact of all those decisions, it's remarkable. You can see it all around us tonight, in this very building, in the businesses represented in this room, and across the skyline of the city. So much of what makes Halifax vibrant, dynamic, and growing into a truly world-class city has been shaped by the bold risks the Lebanese community has taken. That's something worth recognizing, and more importantly, it's something we should all learn from. Because at the end of the day, risk is not about recklessness. It's about vision, it's about believing in something before it's fully proven. It's about putting in the work, building relationships, and having the confidence to move forward when others hesitate. This evening, I am here on behalf of Richie's receiving this prestigious award, but it belongs to a much larger group of people. We would not be the business we are today without our team across Atlantic Canada. who show up every day, committed to doing things the right way. In our business, we don't just sell floorings and kitchens, we solve problems. We measure twice, install once, and stand behind every job with a Richie's guarantee. To our partners and customers here this evening who trust us with their projects, and to our mentors, friends, and community members, many who are also in this room who have supported us along the way, thank you. I also want to acknowledge the Lebanese Chamber of Commerce, not just for this recognition, but for the role you play in bringing people together, supporting businesses, and continuing to build a strong, connected community. I want to take a moment to thank my brother, Adam, who has been by my side since day one. He's not only my younger brother, but also my partner and best friend. And to my mom and dad, thank you for all your support throughout the years. And lastly, and most importantly, I want to honor my grandfather, Daryl Sr., who founded this company with his father in 1966, and who is sadly no longer with us. My jadou, as you say in Lebanese, was everything to me growing up. He believed in me when it mattered most and stood by me through every challenge. And as many of you in the Lebanese community understand, there's nothing quite like the love and protection of a grandparent. My grandfather instilled in me the values that guide me to this day: to have faith in God, to do the right thing even when it's difficult, to treat employees like family, and to always be honest and a straight shooter. His influence is woven into everything we do, and his fingerprints are all over the Richies you see today, which I might add is celebrating its 60th birthday this year. Friends, tonight is a reminder that when you combine hard work, family values, recruiting the best people, and a willingness to take smart risks, great things can happen. To the Lebanese Chamber of Commerce, thank you again for this incredible honor. It means a lot to be here among friends and such an inspiring community. I'm excited for what the future holds for all of us. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
Good evening. My name is Anthony Ramya, and I was honored to receive the Chamber Scholarship in 2025. I'm currently attending Dalhousie University and studying a Bachelor of Engineering. Receiving the Lebanese Chamber of Commerce Scholarship has allowed me to continue striving for success in my studies. I am pleased to be here tonight to introduce the 2026 recipient of the Lebanese Business of the Year Award.
Roma Developments Incorporated is a driving force behind Halifax's evolving skyline, building with purpose, precision, and vision. Founded in 2002 by owner Roland Haj, the company has grown into one of Atlantic Canada's leading project management firms, overseeing the development of more than 2,000 residential units, along with numerous commercial and mixed-use spaces across the region. Guided by values rooted in Lebanese heritage, resilience, craftsmanship, and entrepreneurial spirit, Roma Developments has built a reputation for delivering high-quality projects that strengthen communities and support the city's continued growth. Their work has helped shape Halifax's urban landscape, earning national recognition, including a Canadian Wood Council Award for the Velo on Gottingen Street. Behind every project is a dedicated team committed to excellence, innovation, and integrity, bringing complex developments to life with care and expertise. Roma Developments is not only building structures, it is helping build the future of Halifax.
First, I'd like to thank you, the Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to thank Norman and the board for this incredible honor to be recognized as Best Business of the Year. Among so many talented, hardworking nominees, it is truly humbling. We are very proud to be part of such a supportive business community. While my name is on the award, this recognition belongs to more than just me. It belongs to Roma's team, incredible team actually, to my wonderful family who stood and still stand next to me. It also belongs to our amazing clients and loyal community partners. I always treated Roma's team like family. We party together, we work hard and smart together. I've attended Jack's wedding, Hayden's wedding, that's my team. Patrick's wedding. I even went to Brady's wedding. I had to do that one because he married my daughter, actually. And I'm looking forward to attend Peter, Jeff, and John's as well. 3 smart bachelors on table 43. It is so wonderful to see the young generation of professionals and rising developers. I have met few in the past couple years, young engineers, architects, developers, ages between 25 and 35, so eager, so smart. And they blend and they work well together with Roma's team, as they are all about the same age and they're all professional. It's so delighting. Some of them I met when they were like 5 years old, 10 years old, and now they're grown-up men and women, trying to take the city to another level. And I love that. I wish them all the very best in their career. Thank you again to the Lebanese Chamber of Commerce and the judges for this recognition. We are inspired to continue our commitment to Halifax, we can call it home, forever, and to raising the bar even higher in the years to come. Thank you.
My name is Richie, and I was honored to receive the Chamber Scholarship in 2025. I am currently attending Dalhousie University, completing a Bachelor of Medical Science. Receiving one of the Lebanese Chamber of Commerce's scholarship has been both an honor and a meaningful source of encouragement, and I would like to thank them for that. I am pleased to be here tonight to introduce the 2026 recipient of the Lebanese Professional of the Year Award.
Jasmine Mary Goshen is a force of intellect, integrity, and impact, shaping lives through law, leadership, and service. With over 2 decades of experience, she has built an exceptional career across civil litigation, healthcare law, and adjudication, earning the trust of institutions and individuals alike. From her early days on Bay Street to founding Goshen Law in Toronto and in Halifax, Jasmine has consistently led with precision, purpose, and unwavering dedication. Her work has reached the highest levels of the legal system, appearing before superior and appellate courts, while her leadership continues to influence the profession across Canada. In 2026, she was appointed Commissioner of the Nova Scotia Human Rights Commission, a role that reflects both her expertise and her deep commitment to justice. Beyond the courtroom, Jasmine's impact is profound. From advancing fairness in mental health systems to empowering youth through international charitable work in Lebanon, she leads with compassion as much as conviction. She is not only a leader in her field, she is a champion for others. Through excellence, service, and purpose, Jasmine Goshen represents the very best of what it means to be a professional.
That was my first role representing our Lebanese community, and I can remember back in 1984 when we danced for the Pope at the Halifax Commons. I became the coordinator for GN Association Canada just after that, and we prepared for the first ever multicultural festival in 1985, and then the following year on the Halifax waterfront, they referred to us as the ever popular GN Association Canada dancers. And that legacy continues today. Very happy to see. Anyways, like Mayor Fillmore, I did go to ChatGPT and tried to reduce my speech, but it's not working. Okay, good evening, distinguished guests, friends, and supporters and family. Lots of family here tonight. I love you all, and you've been part of this journey. I want to thank the Lebanese Chamber of Commerce of Nova Scotia for this prestigious award. I am truly humbled. And to those who nominated me, my colleague John Boddy, who's a lawyer that I've worked with for the last 12 years. I want to recognize my family who's here, and of course, near and dear to my heart, representatives of the Sisterhood of Demand Foundation. We came together almost 10 years ago now at the Cedar Festival, and everything blossomed from there, and we've been providing funding for kids to go to school in Lebanon, and thanks to a lot of support from people right here in the room. I want to acknowledge my parents who are here in spirit. They taught us faith, kindness, resilience, and the importance of perseverance. I once read that success is along the way and not at the end of the road, and that has certainly been there for me. I remember my first joy of a job at the age of 7 in the 1970s. I was asked to take up a plate of food to an elderly tenant who was boarding in our home. Many of our families here in the room can have similar experiences, and that's how we started out in business. From there, I can remember my first job at the store. I was 9 years old, a little store out in Spryfield, learning how to serve one customer at a time. You know, we were a very humble community back then. I had to work to earn money to go to school, to go to university. I worked at McDonald's. I was the birthday party lady on Herring Cove Road every weekend, grade 10, 11, and 12, making $3 an hour, and I made enough for first year, plus a scholarship, so that was good. Okay, so I went to university and became an occupational therapist, and then, you know, that was wonderful. My first job as a licensed professional was in Cape Breton. I had to go to Sydney Mines to do a maternity leave. My parents gave me their brand new Chevrolet Cavalier so that I would be safe while they drove the 15-year-old Buick around Halifax. That's the kind of people that they were. After that, even in university, I was a hostess. Remember the Silver Spoon restaurant? Serving up cheesecake, and then at the Chateau Halifax. So I paid for university, and then you say, how did I end up in law school? Well, that was by accident. Many people know the story. Sorry, I'm getting nervous. A financial disaster happened. The city of Halifax downzoned our store from commercial to residential. That was Dad's asset. Anyway, we went to 5 lawyers. They all told us we had no case. We weren't going to just give up. We gave it a shot. I represented the family. I was an OT. In the night, I'd go to the hearings. I'd watch. I studied planning law. And then the night before the hearing, I called a lawyer, Paul Miller, and I told him my strategy. And I said, what do you think? He said, Jasmine, I think you should be in law school. And that's the beginning of, okay, I'm going to go to law school. So the thing is, we did win. And then there was this talk in the community, and it was, Bint Yaoub Ghilbet al-Baladiyya. Jacob's daughter beat City Hall. Okay, no, but we negotiated a deal and all was good, and then we did a land exchange and we built a building, and we won an award for it, so that was nice. Okay, thanks to my brother Peter and my sister Christine who were with us. All right, so I'm a lawyer now, and what I didn't realize is that all those lawyer skills and the strength of the community and all of that came in handy in recent years, because many people who know me, I lost my dad when I was in my early 30s, and I lost my mom when I was in my 40s. And they were in the middle of building a house in Lebanon, and it was concrete. And everyone's saying, if you're going to finish that house, you're going to have to go and be there. Well, thank God I was virtual. I was virtual lawyer long before COVID, and I was able to work remotely. And many people know I went back and forth maybe twice a year for the last 10 years to get that house finished, and we did. And you got to understand, I didn't know how to read or write Arabic, so I was using Google Translate, and I got all the documents, I got the permit, I was probating my grandparents' estate, my parents' estate, and we're still working on it, but it's getting done. I learned how to drive in Lebanon. I studied the roads. I went, if you guys remember a couple years ago, when the pagers blew up in Beirut, I was in Beirut, the government building, getting a document I needed for the lawyer. So someone told me I had to get the hell out of Beirut. I said, no, I gotta go to another government building. I went to Jouni to another government building, and the doors were closing. And they said, Jasmine, Yasmin, come back next week. I said, you know what that means? I won't be back until next year. So it's been a process, but I can understand how many people are going through the same thing. I don't know if you all, I'm sure you all realize, there's a lot of property in Lebanon, ancestors, descendants, people's names from the 1800s. They having challenges probating their estates. But it can be done, and it can be done even if you're unable to read or write Arabic, I used Google Translate, like I told you. And another thing I wanted to pass on is there's a lot of corruption, as you all know. And many times people would tell me, you know, if you pay this guy this much, or you give some money here and there, and I would say, you know what, I'm terribly sorry, but I would rather see my house get destroyed before I turn into somebody I'm not. It can't be a certain type of lawyer getting on a plane and then getting off in Beirut and turning into something else. So anyway, that's my integrity. And when I tell people that in the locals, you know what they tell me? They say, Yasmin, إذا كلنا منفكر مثلك الدنيا بألف خير. If everyone had that same attitude and respect for rule of law, we would have a much more peaceful existence. While I was in Lebanon, I did a lot of hiking. Many of you know that. And one of my favorite things was going to the cedar forest in Ihidin, which is, you know, God's country. And someone's phone is ringing. And a real special thing happened up there. The local guide said, Jasmine, I want to show you something. And we went hiking through the woods. And he said, come see these Canadian maple trees. And they were there, tall Canadian maple trees among the cedars of Lebanon. And he told me that there was a hiking group from the Bruce Trail in Ontario that came many years ago and planted them there. It really meant a lot to me. I cried. And it's a symbol because we're here, the Cedar Maple Gala, and there are Canadian maples growing in Lebanon. And I consider myself one of them. It's okay to be hybrid. We have dual citizenship, we have dual identity, we have property, we have ancestry. For me, I felt it was important for my parents' legacy to finish their business, to get the house they wanted, and I'm so glad we did. But while there, of course, we saw that there was a need to help people. And that's when, you know, I was really pleased to see that the work we do with the Sisterhood of Demand Foundation has really done wonders, and we continue to support the kids going to school. So, in conclusion, I want to say how grateful I am for this award and for being recognized here today, and so many families that I grew up with that are here. I can mention them all, but we all used to live in houses within walking distance in the Duncan Street corridor or the Oxford School zone, and now things have changed, but we're all the same people and have that same affection and love for each other. And I remember I was seeing on the video one fellow saying how what really was really striking was your grandmother's love. And I think that's a big part of why we're successful in this community, is because of the affection we have for each other, the encouragement we give each other, and it's empowering, and it truly is empowering. And I thank you all for being part of my life and empowering me.
Marhaba, bonsoir, buenas noches, good evening. My name is David Nerio Romero, and I was deeply honored to receive the Chamber Scholarship in 2025. I have recently completed my Master's in Educational Linguistics at St. Mary's University. Over a century ago, my great-grandfather left Lebanon to build a new life in Mexico. He arrived without the language, without roots, but with determination. He learned a new language, embraced a new culture, and moved forward with resilience. That is how he began building his life and eventually his business. Growing up, my father often told us how the Lebanese people in Mexico supported one another by lending money to fellow Lebanese immigrants so they could start their own businesses. Once they succeeded, they would repay that support and help the next person. It was a cycle built on trust, resilience, and community. That is how my great-grandfather was able to start his own business. His journey is one of many, and I stand here as a part of that wider Lebanese diaspora, shaped by the same resilience and commitment to lifting one another. I have seen that same spirit here in Halifax, reflected in the work of the Lebanese Chamber of Commerce, supporting emerging entrepreneurs and strengthening this community. I am certain my great-grandfather would be proud to see me reconnect with his heritage, even far from home. Receiving this scholarship has meant a great deal to me. It has allowed me to focus on my academic path, and more importantly, it has brought me closer to this remarkable community. It's a privilege to be here with you tonight. I am pleased to introduce the 2026 recipient of the Lebanese Business Person of the Year Award.
Basima Jardok is a force of vision, compassion, and impact, reshaping how communities connect through language. As president and owner of Access Language Services Incorporated, she has built Atlantic Canada's largest interpretation and translation agency, leading a network of over 500 interpreters and translators supporting hospitals, courts, schools, and organizations serving thousands of newcomers every month around the clock. A trilingual second-generation translator, Basima broke barriers as the first certified Arabic translator in the Maritimes, setting a new standard for excellence in her field. Under her leadership, ALS achieved ISO industry-leading certifications in translations and interpretation and introduced innovative technology that transformed how interpretation services are delivered across the region. When the world faced uncertainty, she responded with action, launching virtual and on-demand interpretation services within days, ensuring no one was left without access to care, justice, or essential support. Through innovation, leadership, and heart, Basima has created opportunities for local newcomers, empowered communities, and ensured that language is never a barrier to dignity, connection, or belonging.
What a great honor tonight to be recognized by a community of builders who paved the way for so many immigrants, including myself, inspired me to set roots here in Nova Scotia, to build my business in Nova Scotia, and to thrive and raise my family here. My little story started in my hometown in southern Lebanon, called Marjayoun. I need my glasses. I spent one summer for the first time in my life in my hometown. I was surrounded by fig trees, green, white, red, and black. I was also surrounded by olive trees and one pomegranate tree. I was also surrounded by stacks and stacks of books translated into Arabic from French, English, Spanish, German, Russian, and many more languages. These books were the remainder of the publishing company that my uncle Georges Jardok, a writer, a poet, and a translator himself, has kept in our family home after it closed down at the beginning of the Lebanese War, in the hope that this publishing company will be reopened one day. As we all know, the Lebanese War never truly ended, and my uncle's publishing company never reopened. 40 years later, and thousands of miles away, in a land of opportunities, in the province of Nova Scotia, a family legacy was revived. What started with one person with a small project by a Nova Scotia company that opened their first office in Qatar became the largest interpreting and translation agency in the Maritimes. At the heart of this journey, 5 siblings, 4 brothers and 1 sister, who heavily invested in the education of their little sister, and a widow, my mother, who raised 6 children. By herself, while running her small business to feed us and to educate us and love us. Today, more than 600 interpreters grace our team of interpreters. Most of them are from Nova Scotia, living and working in Nova Scotia and raising their families. These interpreters are the ones who leave their homes in the middle of the night to help a new mom welcome their newborn to this world. They are the ones who leave their homes in a snowstorm during the day and at night to stand in a courtroom to help a judge make sure there is justice is served, go to hospitals to make sure that families understand when their loved ones are sick and in pain. In addition to these services, partnerships were forged with access to thousands of interpreters around the world to provide on-demand services whenever and wherever our customers needed. To keep up with the new technologies, human interpreters supported by artificial intelligence, sign language interpreters, conference interpreters, translation services, all of this supported by our ISO interpreting and translation services to show our customers that we care and to give them what they deserve, always the highest quality. I am grateful for the Chamber of Commerce to give me these opportunities and give us a chance to showcase what we do, because we're always in the back allowing doctors, judges, lawyers to work with their clients, being their voice and giving them a chance to express themselves when English is not their first language. Today, I would like to acknowledge the great work that our team is doing around the clock, our interpreters, translators, the customers who have entrusted us and believe that a 5-foot-tall woman can support them and provide them with the highest service. Also to my family, my husband Mark, my 2 children, Cyril and Liam. Cyril and Liam, you are the light of my life. I'm so happy that you live in such a great country where you have opportunities. I can promise you one thing, that you will always find a warm home with a lot of Lebanese food, always made with love, waiting for you at my table and our table. Thank you very much again for this great honor.